tip, focus on the fucking road. I need to get all this shit off my windows. Everyone should also remove snow off the top of their car. That's courtesy, people. That is courtesy. Brr. Let's turn on the rear. Do that. Got it. Ooh. We don't got any traction. Love it. Super fun. All right, guys, so oh man, we are sliding all over the place. A little bit of handbrake to slide out. I just wanted to let you guys know and update you about the trip back from Miami. How interesting the drive actually was on the way back. So on the way down, really cool, pretty neat, definitely uneventful. On the way back, however, a little bit more interesting. The car made it back to Columbus just fine. There's one little issue where I was leaving a rest stop and the car all of a sudden just boop, died. And I'm going like, oh no, like this is my trip. This is like, you know, I'm gonna have to get it towed. Like, what's going on? I have to spend side of the road, or I have to spend some time on the side of the road fixing this now. At least I was still in a parking lot. But I was trying to do a U-turn there, but I could not stop in time. So we were gonna go here. That didn't work. We are still trying to fight for traction. This car is actually pretty good in the snow. It's all about the tires. You can have the smartest vehicle in the world. You can have four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, whatever. But if you're not the best driver and you don't have great tires on there, well, so anyway, the car shut down on me and I'm going, oh no, this is bad. But evidently, I guess I just somehow didn't have the key all the way in the ignition. I don't know how it was running, I don't get it, but I moved my leg upward and figured out that I knocked the key. Let's go. Ah, son of a Still fighting for traction because I'm impatient. Somehow I knocked the key out of the ignition when I was leaving the rest stop when I knocked my knee up. And that's what shut the car off. You know, I turned it off, turned it on again when it started, and then turned it on again after I moved the key around, and it ran just fine. But that was mainly it. I was so unbelievably surprised that not 2,500 miles, you guys. 2,500 miles running for, what, 50 to 60 hours straight. Because I only got maximum of about 3 hours of sleep at one time. So pretty freaking impressive for a Chevy Cavalier. Don't buy one, but if you need a car for cheap, oh man. They work if you keep up maintenance on it. And assuming the body isn't completely rusted out. So I basically did not get enough sleep that entire trip, but somehow it didn't feel that way. You know, especially pushing through the mountains, the Alleghenies or the Appalachians. I'm not sure what they're called. I really should know that, so somebody please correct me. But especially pushing through there, managed to keep myself awake. So just wanted to go into my top tips as a driver who has done many of these long distance, long haul trips before, and things that I find that will actually keep you awake. First thing in my mind, really, listening to comedy radio, and not just music, because music can sometimes put you in a trance, but comedy radio, it keeps your brain engaged, it keeps your brain moving and going, and focused on something else other than the monotony of a long drive, and makes you laugh. Hopefully, if you have a sense of humor. If you don't, well, why are you watching my channel? But it makes you laugh, and you know, like I said, it keeps you engaged. What are you doing, man? Second big tip: make yourself uncomfortable. That may seem stupid, especially on a long drive, but it really isn't. And I don't mean like, hey, slap your face or anything like that. You know, if you're getting to the point where you have to slap yourself to be awake, you shouldn't be on the road, period. So on that note, making yourself uncomfortable in the sense that it's not likely for you to fall asleep. And my biggest suggestion with that is air conditioning. Even if it's a freezing cold day, hot day, whatever, turn your AC up. All the way cold, all the way up. And yes, be cold. You don't have to be like shivering cold, but you want to be cold and really make yourself not the most comfortable there, because it reduces the chances of you actually falling asleep. If it's warm and nice and cozy like I am right now, you can just relax, you know, just doze off. So AC, second biggest tip right there. Next big thing, and this really depends on when you're driving, having lower light for me actually really helps. So believe it or not, if I'm going a long distance, driving at night sometimes is better for me because I don't have to squint. Keep the light lowered. I understand headlights can be a issue at nighttime for some people. Turn your high beams off at night when you're passing other people. Man, have lower light, wear sunglasses during the daytime. And I say this because the more, at least for me, again, somebody can comment on the science of this, shoot me an email or whatnot, because I'm really curious. But with this, for me, the more your eyes squint, the more likely it is for me to close my eyes. So the more my eyes squint, the more likely they are to close. So I always wear dark glasses when it's sunny out, and I actually prefer to drive at night. Not everybody's that way, but that's just me for that matter. Next big thing, and this can be sometimes unavoidable just depending on where you are going, try and stay away from strenuous roads. The more effort you put into driving, the more it takes the wind out of you. And before you know it, you are dozing off at the wheel. A long, straight, flat road might be monotonous, but if you have other things going on in your head, comedy, music, air conditioning, whatever, it's really not that bad. So before you go on a long road trip, plan out your route. Yeah, I'm going around you because you are slow. Plan out your route. The more stressful and intense your drive is early on, the more likely it is that you get your energy wiped out of you. Like for example, if you go through a mountain pass and you're really driving, you're carving corners, etc., etc., you really don't realize how much energy that actually takes out of you when you are driving a vehicle versus just, you know, cruising along a road at a constant speed and just relaxing. And that will really conserve your mental energy, it'll conserve your energy, and much less likely for you to fall asleep down the road. So next big tip, plan out your drive. Don't make it a really, really strenuous route going through mountains, etc., canyons, whatever, if possible. Next big tip on that note, cruise control. I think it's a great idea, and sometimes you can't or shouldn't do cruise control depending on, for example, weather conditions, and if you are going through like a mountain pass, it's just not a good idea for you to be on cruise control. But if you can, use cruise control. So if you're focused on, you know, the pedal, the brake, you know, and all that stuff, keeping your speed up and whatnot, that'll wear you down over a little bit, and for me, kind of puts me to sleep. So if I put on cruise control, as boring as that may sound, it allows my mind, obviously, to still keep focusing on the road, but allows my mind to really pay attention to other things like, oh, this radio I'm listening to, oh, this assignment I have to do, or my next day at work or something like that, versus just, holy this drive is long. You know how you guys can't fall asleep, you know, if you're thinking about things the next day, your mind is racing, you know, all of that stuff. You can't fall asleep. It's impossible. It's terrible. And you're only gonna fall asleep when you just dull your mind to pieces, bore it. Then you'll fall asleep. And it's the same concept with the road. Engage your mind, in addition to the drive. Whoa, that was close. Next big tip. Focus on the f***ing road. All right, guys, so last big tip, and really this is common sense. plain and simple, be rested. So if you know you're doing a long drive the next day or a week from now or whenever, the day before, get a lot of rest and try and start your drive right when you wake up, if that's possible. It's definitely a really good idea because you can spend more of the day actually awake and driving. If you can, sleep in that day. Sleep in. Wake up at like 10 or 11. Start your drive then. So I think it's really helpful that way, and obviously the more rested you are, the better, and well, not the better, but the longer you will stay alert, stay active, and stay safe on the road. Those are my top tips. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys and what you guys think of my tips there. And if I'm wrong, well, yell at me, give the video a thumbs down. Please don't. But yeah, so I think those are really good, and those things actually help me stay awake over a long drive, like for example I just did. And if any of you guys also have a super long drive you would like to share, please let me know, because I thought 2,500 miles in 2 days was intense as so let me know what is the longest drive you guys have been on, for example, in 24 hours. I'm really curious to find that out, because I'm always looking to outdo myself or anybody else. So anyway, all right, you guys, I'm gonna let you go at that. I hope you all had a fantastic New Year's. I know I did. It was absolutely beautiful down in Miami. I am so happy that I am back home. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. I told you I wouldn't say that at the very beginning, but like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week where we will be in Miami again. Stay tuned. All right. Peace. Skidding.